What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Travis doing a little voiceover in the editing process because for some reason my camera wasn't syncing up with my audio for my gameplay. So I just want to give y'all this little introduction here at the beginning just to let y'all know because if it's not perfect, if it's not right, I don't want to put it up because I know it annoys me when the voice doesn't add up to the camera. So I apologize for this, but this is gonna be a good thing because y'all are gonna get to see the full screen of this gameplay today. So I hope you guys enjoy the video regardless. Okay, I apologize once again. Hopefully this doesn't happen again. But go ahead and drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit that bell icon so that way you don't miss any more videos like this. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into just jump into this video. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Travis back with another video today, and we are going to be continuing this little 2 episode series. If y'all watch, hopefully y'all watched the last video, and hopefully y'all dropped a like on that video. But today we are back with our NBA team. Yes, I have put a team full of NBA players into Madden 22 on franchise mode, and today, last episode, we went over the team and I explained all the positions, and I explained what I did, how I came up with the attributes, the stats, all that stuff. So hopefully y'all go watch that before y'all watch this one. But today we will be simming the season to see how they do. So it's one thing to put NBA players onto a team, throw them into Madden, see how they do. But like I said in the last video, all the ratings, right? I mean, it's not going to be 100% realistic. I know Chris Paul is not going to walk out onto a football field and have 95 throw power or whatever I put it at. I can't even remember, but he's not going to walk out there and he's not going to be at 91 speed like football in football terms. He's not going to have 99 short accuracy. Like, I understand that, okay, guys, but this I had to try to implement it the best I could, and I believe I came up with a pretty good team. So today we will be simming a season through franchise to see if they can win the Super Bowl, see what kind of stats everybody puts up. I think that's all I have to let y'all know. So I'll go ahead and end this intro. We'll go ahead and hop into it. But if you like the video, please put a thumbs up on the video. I'll greatly appreciate it. Go ahead and subscribe if you're new. Helps out a ton. Hit that bell icon so that way you don't miss any videos like this. And let me know down in the comment section if y'all want to see more videos like this, and give me any suggestions. If you have anything that y'all think of that you may want me to do, it could be Madden, it could be 2K, it could be FIFA, it could be NHL, like whatever, or any other games you want to see me experiment in, I'll take those suggestions. So I greatly appreciate the support from everybody. But let me go ahead and shut up. Let's get into this franchise year sim with the NBA team. Let's do it. All right, guys. So we are here in franchise with our NBA team. And as you guys know, we are the Lions. So we will be in the same division as the Packers. And hopefully we will be able to dominate them. So our first game here is against the 49ers. And what I think I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to jump into this first game. And for maybe the first quarter, maybe the first half, we'll see how long it takes. I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a little bit of gameplay just to give you a little bit of insight into how each player works. So I'll give you some offensive plays, I'll give you some defensive plays, and we'll move on from there, okay? So I'm going to jump in to this game, and y'all will see probably maybe the first quarter, maybe the first half, and then I'll sim the rest of the game, and I'll sim the rest of the season. So let's go ahead and jump into it and see how they play. All right, so we are here in the first game, and I'm just gonna give y'all a little refresher just in case y'all want to see the team again. So we got Chris Paul at starting quarterback. We have, well, go back. We have John Stockton as a backup, but you probably won't see him here today. We have De'Aaron Fox as our starting running back. We have John Wall as our backup, but he's also our third down back, so he'll be in on any receiving plays, also third downs. Nate Robinson's our fullback, also our power back in the depth chart. We have Kobe at wide receiver number 1, Westbrook at 2, AI in the slot, and then we have KD if we ever come out in a 4 wide receiver set. We have LeBron James at tight end 1. Obviously, we have J.R. Smith as his backup. We have Shaquille O'Neal in at left tackle, Eddie Curry at left guard, Big Country Bryant Reeves in at center, Robert Tractor Trailer in at right guard, Yao Ming in at right tackle. We have Blake Griffin in at left end, Ben Wallace at right end, Zach Randolph at defensive tackle number 1, Glenn Big Baby Davis at defensive tackle number 2, Matt Barnes at left outside linebacker, Zion at holding it down in the middle as a user. I will be using him at the middle linebacker spot number 1. We have Draymond in at middle linebacker number 2. We have Danny Green as our cover linebacker at right outside. We have MJ in there strapping up at cornerback number 1. We have Scotty on the other side of him at cornerback number 2. We have Kawhi at number 3, cornerback, and then we have Gary Payton at cornerback number 4, just in case he comes in, maybe able to run some nickel sets maybe. We have Jimmy Butler at our free safety. We got Patrick Beverly in here backing him up, just in case if the backup decides he wants to come in, it will be Patrick Beverly. It won't be an actual NFL player. It will be a NBA player. And we have Tony Allen at strong safety, and then Patrick Beverly, backing him up as well. So then we move on to kicker. We have Steve Nash at kicker, and then we have Darrell Armstrong at punter. So that's the team. If y'all needed a refresher, but let's go ahead and hop into it and see how they play. All right, guys. So it looks like we are starting in at defense first. So got a nice little stop right there from Mr. Zach Randolph holding down that defensive tackle spot. As y'all know, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to go ahead and run some coach options. I'm not going to sit here and sweat out a franchise against the computer. Danny Green with a nice little stop. Almost was able to pick that off, almost. But he was able to get a little possession catch right there. And it is now 3rd down. And look who it is. Michael Jordan on the pick. Pick number 1 on the season for him. And off to a great start on the season for him. So, same thing on offense. We're going to go ahead and run coach options. Nobody open. I shouldn't have rolled out. That was completely on me. Shouldn't have rolled out. Definitely don't want to run this screen pass. Definitely looking at Kobe right there. LeBron's wide open. Go ahead and break that tackle. Woo! Almost able to get in there with LeBron. But this should be an easy touchdown for Chris Paul right here. I'm just going to run this little spacing play. See who's open. LeBron's open. We'll go ahead and finish the drive off with LeBron for his first touchdown of the season. All right, well, we are once again back on defense. And whew, all right, I tried to hit a stick right there with Zion. Wasn't able to get that to connect, but it's all good. I don't know why I don't have any X factors. I don't know if that has anything to do with the coaching development traits, but I don't have any X factors on defense, so that should be interesting. I guess the superstar abilities are going to be good enough for sure, but I would like to have the X factor abilities as well. But we're just trying to give this a little test for y'all. Just to kind of see how they play. I might change up the defensive scheme as well. Just a little bit, maybe. We'll see. George Kittle got wide open right there. I'm surprised Jimmy Butler didn't clamp that up, but they're definitely moving the ball, that's for sure. It was not a good user field gap for me right there, but able to stop it for only 1 yard. I am manned up on somebody out here. Didn't throw it to him. Did throw it to Brandon Ayuk on that play, being covered by Scottie Pippen. Let's see if they run this ball. They did run, and we're gonna go ahead and stop that short. Scottie Pippen, as well as me, Zion, able to stop that short, and looks like they're going for it. Okay, this is interesting. They are going for it. Let's see if we can stop them. Whew, 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 whew. Jordan with another interception in the first quarter of this game, and it looks like it's gonna be a pick 6. Wow. All right, so we are back on defense after that pick 6. I mean, hey, he's one half of the GOAT conversation, right? So, hey, he's out here doing GOAT things, man. He's out here, already has 2 picks, one of them being a pick 6. Man, he's balling early, that's for sure. Stopping that short. It's 3rd and 1 now. We will see if we can be able to stop it. I'm running a pinch bug. I'll go ahead and blitz just in case they do try to run for this. And they do. And we are able to stop them, I believe. Yes, we are. Let's go. And this will actually be our very first look at a punt return. And you guys already know who's back there. Mr. Allen Iverson back here for the return. I'll go ahead and run left. Circle back around. Oh, I thought that I was hoping that juke would do a little bit more right there for us, but running around like that definitely takes away a lot of stamina, so it's all good. But we are here back on offense. I haven't been able to run much offense, especially because that pick 6. But let's go ahead and run the ball. We haven't seen De'Aaron Fox at all. Woo! A little broken tackle from De'Aaron. And then I had hit the B button for the spin. Able to spin out of there for a long touchdown. It's exactly what he's built for. All right, guys. Well, once again, we are back on defense. And I know y'all probably going to see a lot of defense here in this game. I'm going to go ahead and stop that in his tracks before he gets any more yardage. I mean, if he wants to dink and dunk, I mean, I guess he can if he really wants to play like that. I mean, he has already thrown 2 picks, so I guess he probably should dink and dunk. But nice breakup right there from Scottie Pippen. That's exactly what I love to see. That's exactly what I want to see from my corners on this little franchise experiment. Was able to catch that. Do have, and as you guys know, I did show all the abilities in the first episode as well. So if y'all want to see a bunch of the abilities, go ahead and go back to the first video, and y'all will see that. I don't know how Mostert just stiff armed Zach Randolph like that, but man, was able to stop him regardless. So yeah, Zion does have Enforcer, so he will be getting a lot of hit sticks hopefully throughout the sim, and hopefully our coaches can progress so that way we can have our X factors. Definitely need the X factors. Yeah. I seen that coming as soon as I seen that drag. I knew he was gonna dump that down. It was a first down for him. I was trying to stop him so I could get back on offense, but go ahead and give him a nice little hit stick. Still doesn't drop it though, so good ball security from them so far. Anyways, ooh, I don't know what play that was. It kind of got me at first though, but that was a very, very nice play. I think number 72 was that. I think that's Patrick Beverly actually, if I remember correctly. Another pass play from them. Looks like he was able to get open on the dig. I think I ran a zone play right there. I think I ran a zone play right there, so it kind of makes sense that he was able to find the open field. Looks like they're gonna run the ball, and they're not going anywhere because Mr. Blake Griffin has that nice outside stuff, so not able to go anywhere with that one for them. Blake Griffin with a nice TFL. I'm running a mid blitz right here. And get a sack with Zion. It's a user sack. That's his first sack on the season. So was able to get up there with him. And so we're going to run another man play on 3rd and 14. And he's going to dump it down. And I'm going to hit stick him. And he's actually going to hold on to it. So I was able to hold on to it, but it looks like it's just going to be a field goal from them. So we'll move on to offense. All right, guys. So we're back on offense. They obviously hit that field goal, and I was only able to get the kickoff to the 25. So we are back on offense. Let's see what we can get going here. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll out. Go ahead and hit Russell Westbrook on the sideline right there. That is a catch. A nice little catch there from Westbrook on the sideline. Little toe tap there. Was able to get his feet inbounds, able to get that catch. It looks like Chris Paul already has his X factor, so he does have run and gun. So pretty much he has dashing dead eye. And I'm going to test it going deep to Russell Westbrook. And another catch from Russell Westbrook. This team, this team is a glitch. I'm gonna go ahead and run a little run play. See if we can get De'Aaron Fox in this end zone one more time. We'll go ahead and go outside with it because 97 speed might as well, and that is another touchdown. All right, I'm gonna do something a little fun here for you guys. Y'all have not seen Steve Nash yet because I have been cutting out all the field goals because why show them. So this is Steve Nash. I'm going to hit a sky kick, and I'm going to run down and see if I can pop him with Steve Nash. So this should be fun. Let's see if we can do it. Oh, man. So close. Obviously doesn't have the hit power. But I was able to get to him with Steve Nash, so pretty fun thing to do there. But go ahead and stuff him right there again. And I'm probably gonna show y'all most of this gameplay. Okay, I know in the Face of the Franchise series I would, cut most of the defense. And just kind of show the offense, but well, I guess in Face of the Franchise, I didn't play defense, so I guess that really didn't make sense. But back in the college days with Face of the Franchise, I just cut the defense. But I think for this one, I'm just gonna, because I want y'all to see how everybody plays. So y'all would definitely, hopefully y'all enjoy seeing this gameplay. That's going to be a sack there. Coverage sack from Blake Griffin. So that's Blake Griffin's first sack on the season. So we will see how many he ends up with. I want to use your pick with Zion or a forced fumble or something. Oh, I thought that was going to be it. But that is going to be another interception. And this time that is Tony Allen. And Tony Allen with a pick six. All right, we're back on defense after the pick six. Oh. Unnecessary juke move from him. Tony Allen able to stop him for only a 4-yard gain. Could have been a bigger gain, honestly. But whoo. Hey. They gonna keep parting the gap like that, boy. He about to get his stick, bro. He about to get lit up. He keep doing it. Ooh. George Kittle kind of got open a little bit right there at the end. But that brings up another 4th down. And I think I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to fair catch this just so we can get some more offense. All right, so like I said, we're back on offense. And we had a big play to Russell Westbrook the last time, obviously. So let's see if we can get some other people involved. We got Kobe right there involved on the little out route. Was able to get him involved. Y'all have seen a couple passes to LeBron. I'm going to throw that right there. He's wide open. Westbrook for the little hitch route. Wide open. Very easily moved the ball up the field. Y'all obviously saw that big run play from De'Aaron Fox as well. Run this little slant. I know Westbrook was open. I know. But I wanted Kobe to get that, so we'll go ahead and run this play. I'm going to see if I can hit Kobe in the back of the end zone right here. This could be bad because I'm already predetermining this, but let's see if we can get it done. We're on the 24-yard line, so it might be a sign.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown.
Woo!
A great effort there.
Black Mamba, baby. All right, guys. So after that touchdown to Kobe, I was just like, I think y'all seen just about enough. So went ahead and simmed to the end of the game, and Chris Paul ended up with 23 for 29, 392, 5 touchdowns, no picks. So very, very solid game from him. Don't know how much of that actually came from me, but very solid, very, very good game from him. 19 for 47 for Mostert for them. 16 for 114 and 2 touchdowns from De'Aaron Fox. Obviously, we had that long one. Let's see. It was a 58-yarder. So definitely got that one in there. That's exactly what we built De'Aaron Fox to do. John Wall, 7 for 49 rushing, 4 for 28 for Nate Robinson. And receiving, 8 for 136 and a touchdown for Kobe. LeBron, 6 for 73 and 2 touchdowns. AI, 4 for 50 and a touchdown. Westbrook had 3 for 87. John Wall had a catch for a touchdown. So he's doing exactly what he was made to do as well. De'Aaron Fox had a reception for 26 yards. And we go to defensive. And Zion ended up with 13 tackles. Exactly what I like to see. Some TFL, Zion had 3. And then a couple people had a 1. Danny Green had 3 sacks on the game. Wow, 3. Ben Wallace had 2. Blake had 2. Nick Bosa had 1 for them. I had a user sack with Zion, and then Zach Randolph had a sack. MJ, of course, we've seen both of his picks. One of them a pick 6, and then obviously Tony Allen had his pick 6 as well. And then I think that's it. Steve Nash was perfect on the day. Made all of his extra points. Made all of his regular field goals. He had a couple when we didn't play. Did not punt the ball at all. So didn't see Darryl Armstrong out there. AI had 1 for 26, and that was me. And then AI had 5 for 67 punt returning. So let's go ahead and hop back to the main menu real quick. All right, guys. So we are back here at the main menu after showing y'all a little bit of gameplay with them. Y'all definitely can see that they're really, really good. So even when we sim the rest of the game, they still only put up one more field goal, and that was it. So we actually did win the game 69-6, right? So we will get to this fun part. We will be simming the season, and before I sim the season, I definitely want to come in here to the defensive coordinator. And we're going to go ahead and put the X Factors on for our defense. So that way they have the X Factors throughout the rest of the season. And if the computer doesn't automatically do these staff points, then I will go ahead and do them. But yeah, I don't have to see that. So I'm going to go ahead and back out for right now. And we will be simming the rest of the season. So without further ado, cannot wait to see what happens. We are 1-0 already on the season. So let's go ahead and see how our NBA team does. All right, guys. So we are here at the end of the season. And yeah, as y'all can see, we have gone 17-0. We are officially the first team to go 17-0 in NFL history. I mean, it's the first season with 17 games, but we are the first one to go 17-0. So, as y'all can see, our little team stats right there already. We are first in points per game. We are surprisingly 13th in pass yards per game on offense. So that's a little disheartening for Chris Paul right there. So it's a little disheartening to see. First in offensive rush yards per game. Sounds good for De'Aaron Fox this season. We were first in defensive points per game. Oh man, we only allowed 9.6 points a game. Wow. 9.6. That is crazy. We only allowed 206.1 yards through the air against the opponents, and we only allowed 57.6 rushing yards. So safe to say we definitely dominated. I'm gonna go ahead and click this playoff bracket here. Let's see what we got. So obviously we have the bye in the NFC. It's going to be the Cowboys up against my Carolina Panthers. Okay, Carolina Panthers barely made it in with the 7th seed. It's going to be Tampa versus the Saints. So a rematch of last year. It's going to be interesting. And the 49ers and the Packers are down there at the bottom. So in the AFC, the Chiefs have a bye. Not surprising. The Browns and the Colts are going head to head. The Titans and the Dolphins. Wow. And then the Bills and the Raiders. So interesting year all around for everybody. Let's go ahead and jump into the stats. And let's see what everybody did. All right, guys. So we're here on the stats. And Tom Brady threw for over 5,800 yards. So yeah, that's the thing. Threw for 50 touchdowns and 24 interceptions. He threw 50 touchdowns, but he also threw 24 picks. So that's very interesting. I think they were the number 3 seed, I think, going against the Saints in the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes, 5,400 yards, 43 touchdowns, and 17 picks. So it's like a lot of picks were thrown this year. Jameis coming in at 4,900 yards, Dak 47. But where is Chris Paul? Well, Chris Paul's all the way down here at 13th because obviously we saw that in the team stats. So Chris Paul somehow only threw for 4,300 yards. He did throw for 47 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions though. But I'm a little upset that he threw for so few yards with all the weapons that we had. But he did throw a 74 completion percentage. He had almost a perfect rating on the season. Almost 10 yards an attempt. Only got sacked 11 times. So, I mean, it's not surprising with the offensive line that we have. So, that's very disappointing from Chris Paul. But let's move on to rushing and see what we got. So, rushing, Derrick Henry, 1,800 yards for 16 touchdowns. Nick Chubb, 1,800 yards, 18 touchdowns. And De'Aaron Fox comes in at 1,600 yards and 16 touchdowns. Interesting. This is interesting because they're not balling like I thought they were going to. I really thought they were going to dominate, but our team as a whole obviously dominated, but there's not a lot of individual stats here so far. Let's move on to receiving. Let's see what we got. So receiving, Michael Thomas, 1,600 yards for 13 touchdowns. Mike Evans, 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns. Had 127 receptions. I mean, really crazy. So I don't see anybody up here so far. I mean, Russell Westbrook comes in as our number one, I guess. 1,200 yards and 13 touchdowns on the season. I'll go back to our team and show the rest of the stats, but that's our first receiver. So I'm not liking that. I'm not liking that at all. Let's move on to our defense. And looks like Tremaine Edmonds led the league with 150 tackles. I'm a little upset because I don't see Zion anywhere. So Zion only ended up with 113 tackles. I mean, I know it probably is because he has such great talent around him, and I'm not using him every single game. It is a little disappointing though, because I thought he'd be in on pretty much every play, but he comes in at 113 tackles, and Nwosu leads the league with TFLs with 23, and I don't see anybody up here again, so that's unfortunate. Quarterback sacks. Finally have somebody dominate the league. Ben Wallace. 29.5 sacks from Ben Wallace. A dominant season for him, and that's right there is what I was expecting right there. So 29.5 sacks, definitely a season record in the NFL. So a great year from Ben Wallace. Going back to picks, it's Tony Allen's up here with 5, and so is MJ. So both MJ and Tony Allen are tied for picks at 5. So MJ only ended up getting 3 more on the season, and Tony Allen actually ended up getting 4 more on the season, because obviously we had 1 pick when we played, and then Michael Jordan had 2 when we played. So I guess good for them. I mean, they tied for the lead, but I was kind of hoping to see somebody close to double digits, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So let's go over to, let's look at forced fumbles. So Levante has 3, Roquan has 3, Kenneth Fuller has 3, and Zion has 3 forced fumbles. Okay, so not as much as I would have liked. I would like to have seen more than 5, but he did end up with 3, so he tied for first. Definitely what he was meant to do. And let's see if anybody got any more defensive touchdowns. So Tony Allen ended up getting 1 more defensive touchdown. MJ ended up getting 1 more as well. And so let's see, is there anybody else? No, nobody else. Okay, let's move on to kicking. And we have, let's sort it by percentage. And Mr. Steve Nash was 100% on the season. 8 for 8, only kicked 8 field goals this season. Man, our offense was deadly, obviously. But Jason Myers also 100%. There's a lot of 100%s down here. Interesting enough. His longest was 57. With that 99 kick power, he better have a pretty long field goal. 100% on extra points. Definitely perfect there. Kickoffs, touchbacks. He had 122 kickoffs, 56 touchbacks. Obviously leading in both of those. And punting, let's see if our guy punted at all. Okay, so he ended up with 31 punts for 1,570 yards, an average of 50.6 yards a punt. Not the most, but who had the most? So Blake Gillikin for the Saints had 53.8. So surprisingly enough, a guy with 99 kick power still can't have the most average yards per punt. That's definitely interesting, but I think that's just about it. I mean, if he only had 31 punts, he's probably not going to be on any of these lists, to be honest. Look at longest punts. Our guy's not up here. He only punted a 70-yarder. So, moving on to kick returning. Move to yards. I'm just trying to look to see. Let's look at touchdowns. See if anybody got a touchdown. I don't think so. So we'll have to look at that on our team. AI had 41 punt returns for 390 yards and didn't score a touchdown. Tyreek Hill did, but AI couldn't get it done. So let's go back to our actual team to see some other stats that we weren't able to see. So John Wall almost had 1,000 yards himself with 9 touchdowns. This right here is exactly what I was expecting. So 584 yards, but he had 19 touchdowns. 19. So what that tells me is our offense drove it all the way up the field to the goal line. And obviously with him being the power back on the team, he was able to go ahead and force the ball into the end zone. So he actually had 19 touchdowns on the season for 584 yards. John Wall almost had 1,000. So it was a pretty good season from him as well. And then 1,600 yards from De'Aaron Fox. So definitely had a lot of offensive production from our running backs. And let's move on to receiving. Receiving, obviously we saw Westbrook 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns, and did not have another 1,000-yard receiver. That honestly upsets me a lot because I was expecting some big things, honestly. But I mean, not able to do it. I guess. I mean, we ran the ball. We did run the ball a lot. So that was kind of unfortunate, but that probably is the Dan Campbell scheme, and I didn't really think about that. But it is the Lions scheme. So Kobe just missed 1,000 yards, had 8 touchdowns. AI 765 yards and 10 touchdowns. LeBron 717 and 9 touchdowns. John Wall actually had 362 yards and 3 touchdowns. So not at all what I was really expecting from them, but MJ actually had the second most tackles on the team with 86. With Zion, obviously we've seen his stats. Zach Randolph led the team with 13 TFLs. Ben Wallace had 12, obviously. So Ben Wallace had 29.5 sacks. We've seen that. Blake Griffin had 12.5, so double digits. Zach Randolph had 10.5, so double digits. Matt Barnes had 10.5, so double digits as well. Danny Green coming just on the outside of that with 9, and Glenn Big Baby Davis was 7.5. We did see the pace. Michael Jordan had 5. Tony Allen had 5. Scottie Pippen came in second with 3. Zion ended up with 2. Kawhi ended up with 2. So, yeah, I mean, pretty overall around picks for us, pretty much. So that was really, obviously our defense is ridiculous. Forced fumble, Zion had 3. We already seen that. But Tony Allen had 1. Ben Wallace had 1. Blake Griffin had 1. Matt Barnes and Draymond Green both had 1 as well. And obviously we've seen the touchdowns with Tony Allen had 2, and then Michael Jordan had 2. We've seen the kicking, we've seen the punting. Kick return, I couldn't find them at all. Looks like they only kicked to Allen Iverson 14 times for 345 yards. And then they kicked to John Wall 9 times for 224 yards. Neither one of them could get a touchdown. And then for punt returning, obviously he wasn't able to get the touchdown. So that is unfortunate. Let's go ahead and move on to awards then. All right, so we are here, and somehow I don't even know how. Chris Paul ended up with the MVP. Yeah, so only threw for 4,300 yards, but he did throw for 47 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions. So he had a really good touchdown to pick ratio. but he didn't really ball out. I mean, he didn't really have that many rushing yards either. So, very interesting to see right here that he actually did win MVP. Kyler Murray coming in second, Patrick Mahomes coming in third, Sam Darnold somehow coming in fourth. Definitely not going to happen this season. I can't stand Sam Darnold. Get him off the field. Honestly, I hope he's okay. All right. But he did just go on the IR for his shoulder for 4 to 6 weeks. And we just signed Cam back. So honestly, this is probably for the best for the team, to be honest. Because Sam has thrown some boneheaded picks. And I can't stand watching this play. But anyways, that's not going to happen this season. Christian is in 5th. Kamara. Ben Wallace actually came 7th. Wow. This is one of the first times I've seen a defensive player in the MVP race. Ben Wallace actually came in 7th on the MVP race. I mean, he did have almost 30 sacks. But wow, that's crazy. He already has a legacy of 3,400. But yeah, so Justin Herbert, Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers rounding out the MVP race. Moving on to Coach of the Year, obviously it's going to be Dan Campbell, because we obviously bite them kneecaps off. Let's move on to the NFC. Chris Paul with the Offensive Player. Actually, let's look at the AFC first. So Patrick Mahomes, Offensive Player of the Year. Von Miller, Defensive Player of the Year. That's funny because he is now a member of the Los Angeles Rams. But Offensive Rookie of the Year was Trevor Lawrence. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Owusu-Koramoah. Best quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. Best running back, Derrick Henry. Best wide receiver was DeMarcus Robinson. Wow, not a name you would typically say. I mean, look at this top 3. DeMarcus Robinson, Cole Beasley, and Danny Amendola. Wow, this was not a good year for wide receivers in general. Wow. Okay. Very interesting from this season. Best offensive lineman goes to Quentin Nelson. Absolutely. He's an absolute stud. Wyatt Teller, another stud in there for the Browns at second. Best defensive lineman, DeForest Buckner for the Colts. Best linebacker, obviously, is Von Miller. Best defensive back, Tyrann Mathieu for the Chiefs. Best kicker goes to Harrison Butker. Now we move on to the NFC, and Offensive Player of the Year goes to Chris Paul, and we don't have anybody else, so that's interesting. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Ben Wallace. He better be, because he's in the freaking MVP race. The football team has 3 players: Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, and Montez Sweat down here at the bottom, 8, 9, and 10. But Ben Wallace comes in as the Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Chris Paul. De'Aaron Fox comes in 3rd. John Wall in 5th. Westbrook in 6th. Nate Robinson in 7th. AI at 9th, and Kobe at 10th. So all of us are rookies, so you're gonna see a lot of them. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Ben Wallace. We also have Danny Green, Michael Jordan, Tony Allen, Blake Griffin, Zion Williamson, Zach Randolph, Matt Barnes, and Scottie Pippen. So we almost had the full Defensive Rookie of the Year race team. We almost had all of them, but Stephen Collins did come in 9th. Best quarterback obviously goes to Chris Paul. Best running back goes to Chris McCaffrey. De'Aaron Fox only comes in 6th. Best wide receiver goes to Michael Thomas. Westbrook did come in 3rd and didn't have anybody else. Best offensive line, Shaquille O'Neal comes in 1st. Yao Ming comes in 2nd. Robert Tractor Trailer comes in 3rd. Frank Ragnow comes in 6th somehow. I guess they changed the depth chart. 7th comes Eddie Curry, and 9th is Big Country Reeves. So both of our centers came in. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Best defensive lineman goes to Ben Wallace. Obviously with 29.5 sacks. Blake Griffin actually came in 10th. Best linebacker, Khalil Mack. Danny Green actually came in 5th, and Matt Barnes came in 10th. So not a great year from Zion. Not what I was expecting at all. Best defensive back goes to MJ. Wow. So he obviously has some all defensive teams under his belt in the NBA, and now has the best defensive back title in the NFL. So now we have Tony Allen in at 3, and that's it. So we have them two. Best kicker, I would hope, goes to Steve Nash. And so yeah, that's about it. So let's go ahead and sim and see if we can make it to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. Before we jump into that real quick, I want to look at these records, see if anybody beat anything. So pass yards, don't see anything. Passing touchdowns, don't see anything. Rushing yards, don't see anything. Rushing touchdowns, don't see anything. Receiving yards, no. Receiving touchdowns, no. Catches, I don't think so. Defensive sacks, wow. Surprised Ben Wallace didn't get on the sacks. Defensive picks, no. So none under the game per game. Let's look at the season now. So pass yards, no. Pass touchdowns, yes. Chris Paul is in there with 47, but he is far down there. Tom Brady actually did get on this list by throwing 50. And then, yeah, so 47 for Chris Paul. I did get on the passing touchdowns list. Rushing yards, no, I didn't get it. Rushing touchdowns, I believe. I don't think nobody got there. Receiving yards, none of my guys got up there. I know that for sure. Receiving touchdowns, I don't think anybody got up there either. No. Catches, Mike Evans did get up there with that ridiculous season he had, 127 catches. Ties Stephon Diggs from last year. Defensive sacks, obviously, Ben Wallace is up there, 29 and a half, but they're not going to show that half. But 29 for Ben Wallace over Gastineau and Strahan. Well, and Jared Allen and Justin Houston. They all tied at 22, but Ben Wallace smacked it, 29 sacks. Picks, nobody's up there. I think the highest in the league was only like 5. So yeah, so not a lot of records broken. Well, let's see who wins the Super Bowl. All right, guys, so no surprise here. We did end up beating, or not beating, but we ended up making it to the Super Bowl. And we obviously weren't in the wild card round, but we ended up, we only beat the Saints by 1 point. Wow, we almost got eliminated by Jameis Winston. Wow, that was a very, very close game. Let's see, we smacked the Packers 41-7. That's very funny though. But yeah, so we only beat the Saints by 1, and then we smacked the Packers by what, 34. So yeah, so now we are in the Super Bowl with the Browns, who ended up beating the Tennessee Titans by 11 in the divisional. Were they in the wild card? They were in the wild card. So they smacked the Colts in the wild card. Then they beat the Titans by 11 in the divisional. And then they beat the Raiders by 3. So the Raiders were almost in the Super Bowl. That's very interesting because I don't think that's going to happen this year. I don't think so. With all the stuff going on, it's hard to see them even making it, especially not this far. But Cleveland ended up beating them by 3, and they will meet us in the Super Bowl. So let's go ahead and finish this video off. Let's see who wins the Super Bowl. All right, guys, so we're here in the after game stats, and yes, the NBA team has done it. They have won the Super Bowl, but it was not in great fashion. They only won 28-17. So we returned the favor for the Tennessee Titans, I believe, who the Browns beat by 11, by the same score, I think. So 28-17, Chris Paul threw for 132 yards, or not 132. That's his passer rating. Wow. Perfect passer rating from Chris Paul, 299 yards, almost 300, 3 touchdowns, no picks, got sacked twice, a long of 72 on the day. Baker had 319, two touchdowns and a pick. Got sacked 6 times. Rushing the ball, Nick Chubb had 14 for 51. Moving on. So we didn't run the ball at all. Wow. Okay, so John Wall did end up having a rushing touchdown though. Receiving, Jarvis 7 for 95 and a touchdown. LeBron 5 for 81. John Wall had a catch for 72 yards and a touchdown. So definitely doing what he was meant to do. So he ended up having a 72-yard reception for a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Let's see. AI 3 for 56 and a touchdown. Westbrook 6 for 52 and a touchdown. Kobe had 4 for 37. That's about it. On defense, nobody had a lot of tackles. Zion only had 8. Blake Griffin had 8. Blake Griffin had 3 sacks. Ben Wallace had 2. And Zach Randolph had 1. And Zion actually ended up with the only pick in the game. And actually ended up with a forced fumble as well. Okay. No defensive touchdowns were scored in the Super Bowl. Going to kick returning, AI didn't have one. Punt returning, AI didn't have one. So overall, not a great game from us. Not at all exactly what not at all what I was expecting, but did end up winning the Super Bowl. So yeah, so I think that's gonna do it for this video. Let me go to let's see. All right, I found it. So we have the league history, and we obviously, like y'all saw, we won 28-17, and that is our first Super Bowl champ, first time Super Bowl champion for the Detroit Lions. And Zion Williamson actually won Super Bowl MVP. So obviously he was a great impact player, but didn't put up a lot of stats through the regular season. But obviously he impacted the game in a lot of different ways. Chris Paul obviously won NFL MVP. Dan Campbell won. Yeah, so all of our players won all the yearly awards on the side. So Chris Paul MVP, Dan Campbell Coach of the Year, Chris Paul Offensive Player of the Year, Ben Wallace Defensive Player of the Year, Chris Paul Offensive Rookie of the Year, and then Ben Wallace Defensive Rookie of the Year. And then Zion won Super Bowl MVP. So that just shows that he was definitely impactful in these games, but didn't show up big on the stat sheet throughout the season. So Chris Paul did not win Super Bowl MVP, but Zion Williamson did. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little experiment, man. I've been doing this for a few years by myself, and now that I've jumped into this YouTube world, I figured I would go ahead and show y'all what I've been kind of doing by myself just for fun. I mean, I used to do this stuff for fun. So if y'all want to see experiments like this, if you want to see them in a Madden, if you want to see them like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to see them in 2K, NHL, FIFA, whatever, if you want to see them in anything else, go ahead and let me know down in that comment section, and let me know how y'all think I did with this team. So obviously the stats weren't that great. Not at all what I was expecting. Our highest receiver only had 1,200 yards. De'Aaron Fox only had 1,600 yards on the ground. And Zion didn't have a lot of tackles. The highest amount of picks was only 5. I mean, the stats definitely were not where I was expecting. But we did go 17-0 through the regular season. We dominated. I mean, every statistical category we dominated. And as you saw as a team, except for offensive pass yards per game. As you know, Chris Paul only threw for 4,300, but still won MVP because he threw 47 touchdowns for 7 picks. Only on 7 picks. So if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me, please. Go ahead and subscribe if you're new. Okay, if you're already subscribed, I appreciate you. Okay, I appreciate you. But if you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps out a lot. Hit that bell icon so that way you don't miss any videos like this. And I'm gonna repeat it again. If you have any suggestions, let me know if you enjoyed it. If another thing too, I want to let y'all know, if y'all want to see me kind of play through one of these seasons, like obviously not every single game, but if you want to see me play a couple games throughout an actual season, just if y'all want to see more gameplay of this NBA team, if y'all just want to see gameplay in general, go ahead and let me know, because I mean, I have it saved. I can't really think of anything else to do with this team. So yeah, if y'all want to see any more gameplay with it or anything like that, go ahead and let me know, and I will definitely get that done. So I appreciate y'all for watching this video, but for now, I'm out of here. Peace.